What's up, Leafs Nation? Welcome back to another game preview. I'm Zack Phillips, and today we're digging into game number 73 of the Toronto Maple Leafs regular season as we get closer and closer here now to the Stanley Cup playoffs, hoping to bounce back from whatever that atrocity was the other night against the San Jose Sharks, just from effort involved and lack of showing up on time. I guess I kind of just screwed myself trying to figure out what word I was going to use to be able to describe the poor effort that was shown through the first two periods by this Leafs team. But that's kind of what happened. That's kind of what it was. So hopefully tonight, an opportunity for this Leafs team to turn things around against the LA Kings in LA tonight. It's in today's pregame video presented by Bet365. We'll dig into the lineups, what you've got there, what we have for the special teams, power play 1, power play 2, as well as who your starting goaltender is tonight. So let's not waste any time here. Let's jump over right away to the lineups and taking a look at your first line for the Maple Leafs tonight. You got Matthew Knies, Austin Matthews, and Mitch Marner. Look, you got to keep the second line together. I think John Tavares and William Nylander have looked really good together. Both of them have been having very good seasons. They've been very consistent for the most part here this year. This first line cannot find ways to get it going, and I'm kind of getting tired of watching the up and down year that they're having, where sometimes it looks like they're involved, it looks like they're engaged, it looks like they could take over a game, and then all of a sudden they just disappear for games on end. I mean, Matthew Knies is a guy who's not going to cheat you on effort. I don't really think that the other guys cheat you on effort either, but like at $13.5 million, at $11 million, knowing that one of these guys is going to be a UFA at the end of the season, he's going to be a guy who's going to come up and demand a lot of money on his next contract. To have games where you just kind of don't make any kind of impact, you don't look like you're involved at all, I don't think is acceptable. And getting this close to the playoffs and watching this happen, it's getting concerning because this is what happens year in and year out. Now, that's a big picture conversation to be had about these guys and just who they are as individuals or who they are when they play together, but more specifically to the last couple of games and the last couple of weeks here, actually, they have not been very dominant. And it's kind of frustrating to be like, Nylander and Tavares could split up. They could play on different lines, and the wingers can rotate through, but Matthews and Marner have to be glued to each other's sides. I can't understand that. It's been a thing here for like the past 6 years, kind of, since Sheldon Keefe joined the team, all the way through here now to Berube, where it's just like they have to go together. They have to go together. There's no splitting them up. Everyone else can move around. Other people can sit down and miss shifts or sit in the press box. These two, they have to go together, and you go through these stretches where they just can't figure it out at all, they have to stay together. I don't know. It's another one here tonight. They have to stay together. Okay, sure. I don't know. If they don't show up tonight, there's probably going to be a lot of frustration amongst this fan base. It's just the reality of the anxiety that kind of gets built up here in Toronto, the frustration that happens with the lack of results for the past 8 seasons, and then just watching this happen over and over and over again. Going down to our second line here, Bobby McMann, John Tavares, William Nylander. No notes on them. As I kind of just said, in contrast to the first line, the second line has been very good. Bobby McMann has fit in pretty nicely on that second line. I anticipate, honestly, that McMann moves and Pacioretty probably comes back, but if McMann plays as well as he has been in the last couple, even if he's not producing points, but if he's like generating and helping the other guys the way that he has been, I feel like he's just a good fit on that line. I think he looks good there, and he's just a workhorse. Like that's who Bobby McMann is. Now you go down to Scott Laughton, Max Domi, Nick Robertson on your third line. Scott Laughton looked a lot better. I think a lot of that had to do with Max Domi looking pretty good there as well, and the two of them starting to feed off of each other. It seemed like Laughton started to calm down against San Jose. He started to get comfortable with his role. He's getting comfortable with his line mates. And then Max Domi at the end of the second period takes a misconduct and misses effectively the entire third period. Like the whole thing. I don't think he returned to the ice until about 2.5 minutes left in the third period, which pretty much kills the momentum of the line that they had generated. Hopefully they find a way to get it back here tonight, but Scott Laughton gets his first as a Maple Leaf the other night. They get themselves back together here. It's a little bit more comfortable. Maybe he can kind of get into a rhythm, and Max Domi doesn't have to sit in the penalty box. Now, Steven Lorentz, David Kampf, Calle Yarncroke are slotted as your fourth line. This is going to be interesting, and Robertson is included in this here as well because I can't see anyone else in this lineup coming out, but Craig Berube did say Pontus Holmberg would be returning. We don't know who's coming out. The four guys for me that would be most susceptible to coming out of the lineup would be Lorentz, Kampf, Yarncroke, and Robertson. If I had to guess, Lorentz would be the safest. You'd probably look to David Kampf, Calle Yarncroke, and Nick Robertson. And I feel like right now Nick Robertson has got himself up on the totem pole a little bit. So maybe it's David Kampf and Calle Yarncroke. I'm interested to see just how this gets maneuvered because it also has felt a little bit over the last little while like Craig Berube has kind of started to favor Calle Yarncroke a little bit more, likes the way he plays, likes the Swiss Army knife aspect, likes the energy, yada, yada, yada. So I'm interested to see how they end up shaking out these lines, but that's what we've got now for our forward lines. We will probably find out more soon as we get to morning skates and everything like that, but right now, those are your forward lines. Now, going to what we've got for the defensive lines for tonight's game. Not much change has been taking place for the defense over like the last 2 weeks. And that's going to continue here again tonight. Morgan Rielly, Brandon Carlo as your first pair. Jake McCabe, Chris Tanev, your second. Benoit, Ekman Larson as your third. Look, I don't think Benoit's been bad. I've actually liked him in some of the spots. I think he brings a lot of energy. You know, a lot of times I go online and I see the calculator communities firing out charts and stat sheets and all these things about Simon Benoit, and he's the worst defenseman in the NHL. And then, like, watch Simon Benoit. It doesn't feel like he's just getting pummeled every time he's out there. He's energetic. He brings physicality. Like, he goes and sticks up for his teammates. He brings other aspects. And we've watched defensemen here in Toronto who are a billion times worse, honestly, especially over the last couple of years. For it to be a pick on Simon Benoit thing is pretty outrageous. The other thing I'll point out is those people in the calculator community who want to do that, they oftentimes tend to overlook 34, 16, 44, and say, oh, they were fine. It's the bottom six that needs to figure things out. You know what? Sometimes the top guys, they just need to be better. And maybe it's them who need to be focused on here because Morgan Rielly still cannot figure out his game. It's Simon Benoit. If he comes out of the lineup, it is what it is. Moving him out and putting OEL on his proper side, putting Philippe Myers alongside of him, that's fine. If we're going to throw a fit about Simon Benoit and not worry about Matthews and Marner completely pissing off since Four Nations, or, you know, Morgan Rielly being not himself all season, then, I mean, we might as well wave the white flag on the year because you're not going to get anywhere paying those guys what they are and them doing absolutely nothing and then nitpicking who's playing in your 5-6 role. Really? Come on. I mean, just like if you move guys in and out, it is one thing. If you're just going to pick on them and say, oh, this is the reason, why can't we change this guy? Wow, we've got other issues that are just far bigger than anything else here. So those are your D pairings for tonight's game. As for your special teams, no changes here right now. First power play unit is going to be Matthew Nyes, John Tavares, William Nylander, Austin Matthews, Mitch Marner. That would be the 5-forward unit. Your second unit is Bobby McMahon, Max Domi, Nick Robertson, OEL, and Morgan Rielly. No changes on those. We did see Scott Lawton get some runs on the first unit in the last game, and that was mostly because Max Domi was in the penalty box. But, I mean, look, Scott Lawton looked good. I thought he looked much better in the last game, much more comfortable, and I was happy to see him get on the board. Now, for tonight's goaltenders, Darcy Kemper on the other side for LA there. I'm expecting to see Anthony Stolarz go for the Maple Leafs tonight. Tough night for Joseph Woll against San Jose. I feel like there's a bounce back night coming for Joseph Woll, but I think it'll be tomorrow. I don't think it's tonight against the LA Kings. So those are your lineups. Let's now get to our best bet segment for tonight's game. And breaking news coming in from Bet365, where every nail-biting overtime win is a barn burner. Every face-off, hat trick, Power play, shot on goal, penalty shot, and every suspenseful minute in between is amazing. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365, an official partner of the NHL. Download the Bet365 app and use the code NATION, NATION, to get in on the game. Must be 19 or older, Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, visit connectsontario.ca. Okay, so our best bets. We are now up on the season in our best bets to 6.61 units of profit. That was $661 that we are up. We win both best bets on Thursday night. Man, the days run together, especially when the show starts at 1:15 a.m. following the game. Both best bets against San Jose win. Scott Laughton for a small unit at plus 700. We cashed that one. $10, profit 70. We cashed John Tavares anytime goal. $50, profited 100 on the plus 200. So it was a $170 profit on the night. What we're going to be looking at tonight, we're going to keep it simple. I mean, it's just like, at this point, sometimes you just gotta, you don't overthink things. Like, you go with what works, you go with what you know, you go with what feels good, and tonight, to me, what feels good is a John Tavares anytime goal at plus 260. Plus 260 for Johnny T, anytime goal. We're going to go a half unit on this one, $50, profits you $130. Reality is, I'm just keeping it simple. I like the number. Compared to the rest of the market, we're getting a great price here on this one. Everywhere else, $220, $210, $215, $230, some spots. We're getting at $260 on 365. That's reason number one. Number two, the second line is hot right now. Let's ride the hot hand. Let's stick with what is working. These guys have been great. I don't anticipate a fall off. I know William Nylander last year going into the playoffs started to dip a little bit. We saw that happening for him at the end of the season. It happened for John Tavares as well. And then all of a sudden they went into the playoffs and it just wasn't the same. William Nylander came back. He was exceptional in the playoffs there. When he was playing, it wasn't dealing with migraines. But going in, it was a little bit slow. It was a little bit tough. I don't think they're going to let that happen this year. I don't think JT and Nylander are going to allow that slip up to happen. I think they roll right into the playoffs, ready to go. I feel like they keep it going here tonight. Johnny T, anytime goal, plus 260 is my best bet. $50, profits you $130. If you did enjoy the video here today, make sure to hit that like button. Subscribe here to the channel, Leafs Nation 401. More pregame content coming out, breaking down lineups, goaltenders, special teams, as well as our best bet segment presented by Bet365. Thank you to everyone who watched. Drop your comments, your predictions down below. I look forward to hearing it. Before the Leafs game, I'll be over at the Jays game as well. So if you're over there and you happen to be there yourself, come say hi. But thank you all for watching. Hit that like button. I will be back following tonight's game against the LA Kings for another edition of Leafs Nation After Dark. Thanks for watching. Keep believing. For more content just like this, including game previews, post-game live shows, Leafs Morning Take, Monday through Friday with Nick Alberga and Jay Rosehill with special guests, as well as instant reaction videos. Make sure to be subscribed here to the Leafs Nation YouTube channel. Turn on notifications so you don't miss anything, and drop a like.